Alright, so really quick, I'm going to show you guys how to submit a comic for grading and pressing. If you notice, I have Something is Killing the Children book, and it has some noticeable dings. You can see right here in the top right corner, it's been crumpled a little, luckily with no color breaks. And on the bottom left corner, it has another little crumple. There's one little spine tick that shouldn't hurt the grade too much, but all of this can be pressed out. Now, as far as grading, you go ahead and make an account on CGC. Pretty simple, just same as any other account. I usually do the middle tier because they give you that entire amount that it costs in credit. So you can use that towards the grading fees that you incur. Now, it's going to ask you what type of collectible you want to submit. For this, it is comics. They also do trading cards and magazines and all kinds of other stuff, but we're working on comics for now. Back when there were shows, Comic-Cons and all that, you used to be able to drop off at certain shows. You can do the private signing. I know there's stuff like Chris Evans, Captain America, or even a bunch of other comic artists and writers. But I'm just doing the standard mail into headquarters for regular grading because they don't have any signature events going on that pertain to this book. So I am going to be submitting for grading and pressing. Most times if you have a clean book straight out of the factory and no dings or nothing, you're just going to do plain grading. A lot cheaper, a lot more time friendly. Now for the title, you just go ahead and type in whatever you are submitting. So for me, I have Something is Killing the Children. Publisher. Usually on the front of the books, it'll say if it's Marvel or DC or Boom Studios. A lot of you guys might be submitting the Berserker, the Keanu Reeves book, for grading. That's part of Boom Studios as well. The issue number for mine is 6. I just like to click along with whatever they got there. More often than not, there's only one publication date, but if you have a reprint, it can change. So if you open the comic book to the first page, on the bottom of the first page, usually it has a publication date. If you're not sure and you can't find it on the internet, that's the best way to do it. But Google is your friend. So the variant, I have a special variant. It's a 1 in 25. It's supposedly the rarest cover of Something is Killing the Children. It is considered the Frizzen sketch cover, as it's not one per store. And I also have the unlocked retailer, but that is not this version. I have the sketch. Declared value, they will usually decide the value if it's a particular book worth a certain amount of money. I'm going to go ahead and put in $400. And I had already filled it out for this, but I'm just going ahead and showing you guys for this thing. So I hit next because that's all the information filled out. Typically you'll have cheaper books that I've suggested that are $200 or less. As you go up in price or value of the books, you have to choose higher grading tiers. I am impatient. I like fast track. It's an extra $10. If you're doing a ton of books, it adds up. If you're just submitting one bigger book, and you have something like that. So that one, this just pertains to either time period or value. So I did economy. It's going to automatically apply the same tier for grade or pressing. So it's going to stick to economy and the fast track. Pressing takes a long time, so be ready for a long wait time, no matter what you choose. But fast tracking is going to make it significantly shorter. I'm going to go ahead and hit add to cart. I really don't need to do much else. And I can view my cart and check out. Now I have 2 of them. I accidentally had done it right before I showed you guys. I'm going to go ahead and junk that. Yes, I want to delete this item. I go ahead and go to checkout. Return method. You get to choose FedEx, UPS, or USPS. I personally like FedEx the best. See? Oh, nope, not gonna do overnight. FedEx ground. And I will go ahead and hit next. Payment info, you fill that out. Same as anything else. Gonna go ahead and fill that out. Gonna cut that out. Oh. You're fine. I'm gonna cut all this out right now.
You want my mouse?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Cut off the stuff at your mom's. That's enough and for that thing. On the way.
For the ring? Somebody dropped something off on the wall.
Alright, now once you have completed all your payment info, you will have a grand total. Again, my book is a little bit more higher valued. You will, and I also did the pressing, so the whole grand total is going to be a tad expensive.
It's my COD book. Oh, my hands are greasy with opening.
You're going to go ahead and click submit, accept everything, and boom. Alright, so here's the comic that we're submitting. You should have been linked to a page that will give you a nifty little packing slip. When you're packing your books and putting them together to be sent out, they have to be in the exact order as the packing slip shows you. If you put it in a different order, say whatever you felt like, and it's out of order, it's going to get your grading delayed, and it already takes forever. You don't want to get it delayed any further. Once my books, I just have one book, so I don't have to worry about it too much, but I usually like to wrap whatever bundle I have of books, just a little thin sheet of bubble wrap, just for, I don't know, some sort of peace of mind's sake. And I usually secure it with just a piece or two of painter's tape, blue tape, just so that way it's easy for them to take off, because if you use something like Scotch tape or packing tape, it's gonna lead to some unnecessary tugging and frustration on your graders, and they already have so many books to deal with, you don't want to piss them off anymore. So book's nice and secured, get your packing slip, put it right on top of there. I usually like to secure it with another piece of painter's tape, just so that way it's there, it's held down, and it's easy to take off or see, whatever. It's there, it's secure. Now, I'm gonna post another link for you guys. This is what I use to ship out comics all the time, and this is pretty much the same process that I use to send out whatever comics people buy from me. So Gemini comic mailers are pretty secure. I haven't had really anybody in hundreds and hundreds of comic sales complain about the condition of their comics after they receive them. They're pretty easy to fold up. You go ahead, take the comic. This is also a mailing guide, I guess, at the same time. Typically, it's a lot easier. I don't usually add bubble wrap or anything extra. I just have the comic and the bagging board down. I usually get 3 pieces of tape. One right there on the short edge. One, it's a little harder with packing slip there. On the top, wrap that around. And then on the bottom of the book. I want to make sure that it's not passing that last perforation, so that way when it folds over, it doesn't go ahead and crush my book and absolutely ruin the condition of my comic. Sorry. Go ahead and fix that, secure that on there. Okay. Go ahead and fold that over. Alright, so again, very minimalist. I used to wrap the hell out of these in tape from top to bottom. It's a waste of tape. It doesn't secure it any more than 1, 2, and 3 good pieces of packing tape will do. If you're just selling a comic, that's pretty much it. Slap your label on there, drop it off at the post office, and call it a day. But since this one is a semi-valuable book, actually one semi, going to CGC, I am going to go ahead and send it to through a medium flat rate priority box. Since it's a little bit bigger and you can stuff whatever you want in here, I usually like to go ahead and get more bubble wrap to secure the mailer so that way it doesn't flop around, just to prevent any extra damages that my book may incur. Alright, so my mailer is all extra bubble wrapped. I'm gonna throw just a couple extra little airbags in there just to secure it, make sure it doesn't flop around everywhere. Go ahead and seal it as the post office intends you to. With this, I'm a little more nitpicky for security's sake. I just like to throw an extra piece of packing tape along the side, rubber nails down to secure it. Again, just in case that glue decides to give. I would be devastated if this went off and fell open and my box was gone to the world. Just like anything else, you're going ahead and slapping your label to CGC. Now, something really important to notice is that when you're creating a label to send to CGC, you need to make sure that you're sending to the right address. If you're sending via USPS, on the site on how to submit books, it specifically says to send to their a specific PO box. If you're sending via FedEx or USPS or UPS, then you need to send to another address. So again, very important to make sure that your package gets to the right place. Is make sure that depending on who you're sending it through, you get to the right place. That's it. Box is all ready to go. Books is not going to shake around too much. And that's it. Drop it off at the post office and wait.